Hi students, here is a lesson of grade 10 formula. Here is a very important segment that we are going to learn, right? Formula. First, I will be teaching you that what is a formula. Okay, what is a formula? Really, what's a formula? Formula is just like that's an equation. That's not an equation, but just that is just like an equation. What I'm talking about. You think of this one. When it comes to this one, then x plus 7 equals 10, then clearly it's able to see that here is an equation. You are able to get the value of x here as 10 minus 7 is 3. The value of x can be taken that 3. That's okay. Easily you are able to get the value of x at 3. So this is a simple equation, right? Here is an equation, here is a simple equation. But when it comes to equation, it's able to get the values of unknown terms easily. But when it comes to formula, you are unable to get the values of unknown terms. Really, it's unable to get the values of unknown terms, but it's able to see an equal sign when it comes to a formula. I mean, this type of one. X plus y equals to 10. You cannot get the value of x here, right? You cannot get the value of x or y here. So here is a formula. X plus y equals to 10 is a formula. Okay? You can't get the values of x and y. So you think of this one, a plus b plus 2c equals to y. You cannot get the value of a, b, c, or y. Here is the formula. Okay, so you have got an idea about the formula, right? What is a formula? So now we are going to learn about the you need to write this is the first question. X plus y equals to C. You need to write the term x as the subject of this formula. You need to write this term x as the subject. You need to write the term. You need to write the term x as the subject of this formula. How can you write it? Right? How can you write it? How can you write the term x as the subject of this formula? Yes. How can you write it? You can write the term x as the subject of this formula, which means x equals to, you need to write that x equals to c plus y becomes minus y when it comes to this side. So x equals to c minus y. X equals to c minus y. So we've written the term x as the subject of this formula. Okay, so x is written as the subject of this formula. How can you do this one? Subjects. When it comes to subject, then every time the term that we consider to write as the subject, then that should be written as x equals. If the term is x, then x equals. If the term is y, then y equals. X plus y equals to c. You need to write the term y as the subject of this formula. I have written the term that you need to write as the subject in the bracket. So y equals to c. Here plus 6 becomes minus 6. Okay. So let's do the other one. So if it is a positive value, when it goes to the right side, it becomes negative. If it's a positive value, it becomes negative. So this one, this one 2x plus y equals to 100. You need to write the term y as a subject. How can you write the term y as a subject of this formula? Y can be written as the subject of this formula. Let's write. So y equals to 100 plus 2x becomes, this whole segment is brought to this side. So plus 2x becomes minus 2x. So y equals to 100 minus 2x. We've written the term y as the subject of this formula. So how can I do this type of one? L minus m equals to C. Let's write the term L as the subject of this formula. Yes, how can you write this? L equals to C minus m becomes plus m. So L equals to C plus m. L equals to C plus m. We've written this term L as the subject of this formula. So this one, fifth one, A plus B plus C equals to D. You have to write the term A as the subject of this formula. The term A as the subject. Let's write the term A as the subject. How can we do it? A equals to D plus B becomes minus B, plus C becomes minus C. This is the answer. Plus B becomes minus B, plus C becomes minus C. Don't want to show these arrows, right? So that you can get an idea. I mentioned these arrows also. Okay, so we have written A as the subject, that A equals D minus C. The next one. Two, just to imagine this one, this type of one. If this is, here's not a formula, here's not a formula, this is not a formula. This one, if this is 2y equals to 10, 2y equals to 10, how can you get the value of y here? Yes, how can you get the value of y here? 2y, so 2 into y. 2 into y means, 2 into blank equals 10. So you know that the blank is 5. So the value of y is, here the value of y is 5. Okay? So y can be taken that, both sides can be divided by 2. Both sides can be divided by 2. So if you are able to get the value of y, that 2 and 2 can be cancelled out. 10 upon 2 is 5. The value of y is 5. So when it is multiplied, you can divide. When it is multiplied, you can divide. Here multiplication. Bear in mind that when it is multiplied, you need to divide. Okay? When it is multiplied, you need to divide. Yes, a very important segment. So, how can I do this one? So, which means AB equals, so if AB equals to C, how to get the value of A here? A should be written as the subject. How can I write the term A as the subject? You are able to write the term A as the subject. How can I do it? Here you are unable to write that A equals to C minus B. When this B comes to this side, then it becomes negative. That's wrong. Really, this is wrong. What is the reason for that? We can't write like this plus B becomes minus B. The reason here it's having multiplication. If it's having multiplication, you can't write that if it is positive, then it cannot be written as negative. If it is negative, it cannot be written as positive. So how can you do this? Here multiplication, you could see here multiplication. So how can you do this? How can you do this type of one? Yes, if AB equals to, AB equals to C, you need to write the term A as the subject. Let's write it. Here multiplication, A into B equals to C. So when it comes to the previous question, I told you that if it is having multiplication, you need to divide. So what you have to do here, both sides can be divided by B. The reason to be written the term A as the subject, B and B can be cancelled. A as the subject, B and B can be cancelled out. A equals to COP. Now we have written the term A as the subject of this formula. A equals to COP. So when it is multiplied, you can divide. Actually, how to divide? Okay. Then this one, This one, wait, this one, A, B, C equals to D. How can you write the term A as a subject? A, B, C equals to D. This formula can be written as the subject. I mean, when it comes to this formula, you are able to write the term A as the subject. How can you do it? Here, multiplication A into B into C. A into B into C equals D. Don't write this step, right? No need of writing this step, right? So as to get a clear idea, I written this one. That's A times B times C equals D. So how can you write the term A as a subject? Here you could see multiplication. So both sides can be divided by BC. B into C means BC. So this P and this P can be cancelled out. This C and this C can be cancelled out. So A equals to D over BC. A equals to D over BC. Okay? This is a way of getting the term A as the subject of this formula. Okay, let's do the equation. Here, AB plus 1 equals to x. Let's write xy. Let's write the term B as the subject. How do we write this term B as the subject? We can write, B equals to AB equals to xy plus 1 becomes minus 1. Plus 1 becomes minus 1. Right now, you could see here AB means A into B. Therefore, both sides are divided by A here. So A and A can be cancelled now. B equals to xy minus 1 over A. Okay? The other way. So, let's do the other this type of one. How do you do this? Do you do this type of one? V equals U plus 80. V equals U plus 80. You have to write the term U as the subject. U as the subject. How can you do it? How do you write the term U as the subject? Yes, how do you write it? You can write the term U as the subject. U equals to. U equals to. Here you need to write U. U equals to here V plus AT plus AT. This whole segment, A and T can be brought to this side. So plus AT becomes minus AT. That can be done. So V minus AT equals U. V minus AT equals U. Now the 10th one is, V equals U plus AT. Let's write the term A as the subject here. A as the subject. A as the subject. V equals U plus AT. Let's write the term A as the subject. How do we write it? The term A as the subject. Yes. V plus U becomes minus U equals to V minus U equals to 80. Every time the term that you need to write as the subject should be kept in one side, in one side, which means that here you need to write the term A as the subject, that should be written here, A. Okay? So now here you could see AT means between A and T multiplication is, so you could divide both sides by T. So this side and this side divided by T. Then T and T can be simplified. So A equals to V minus U over T equals to A. So we wrote the term A as the subject. So let's do the other one, 11th form. This type of one. you know, x, y, c minus 20 equals to y. Let's write the term y as the subject. Y as the subject. How do you write this one? The term y as the subject. Then here y. Here y. How could we do it? How can we write the term y as the subject? Yes, this is some okay. Yes, how do we write? You could see the term that we need to write as a subject. That term is met in two places in the same formula. How could we write this one as the subject? So we could write this one as a subject. Here one y. So it is brought here. I mean x, y, c. Then plus 1 y becomes minus 1 y. Then minus 20 becomes plus 20. Okay. Now what we have to do, we need to get the common term, the term that we need to write as a subject. So which means this can be written, that here y. This y is taken as the common factor, then here the remaining terms xc minus 1 equals to 20. Okay? So now how can you do this? How can you do this? This can be written, that then here multiplication, both sides can be divided by c minus 1 and this side as well, xc minus 1. Now this xc minus 1 and xc minus 1 can be cancelled out. So y equals to 20 over xc minus 1. xc minus 1. So the answer is y equals to 20 over xc minus 1. xc minus 1. So when it comes to this one, you are unable to write this one. You could divide, I will write this again. xyz minus 20 equals y. xyz minus 20 equals y. xyz minus 20 equals y. You cannot write this one, when you get the term y as the subject, when you write the term y as the subject, you can't write that y equals to y minus 20 becomes plus 20, that xyz, then both sides are divided by xc, then x and x can be cancelled out, y, c and c. So y equals to y plus 20 over xc. This is wrong. The reason is here you need to know that here y. The term that you have to write as the subject cannot be met in two places in the formula. That should be in one place. After writing the given term, the term that you need to write as the formula, that should be found in one place. Okay, so here y. When you get the value, when you write the term y as the subject, you could see that the term y can be seen in two places. That's wrong. This way of writing is wrong. Therefore, the correct way of writing the term y as the subject is the previous learned method. This one. Right? Now we are going to do the 12th question. 12th question. Gn equals to a plus n minus 1 times t. Let's write the term a as the subject. A can be written as the subject. How can you write the term a as the subject? Yes, how can you write the term a as the subject? We can write the term a as the subject. That here a, then tn. This whole segment, n minus 1 times d, can be brought to the other side, the whole segment. Here positive. So minus n minus 1 times d. So tn minus n minus 1 times d equals to a. So we are able to write the term A as the subject in this way. Okay, in this way we are able to write the term A as the subject. Tn minus, this whole segment can be brought to this side. The reason you know that n minus 1 times d means that here, here is a product. Here is a product. These, these terms have can be multiplied. So here is a product n minus 1 and d. Just like LA, just like these, just like BC, just like MC. Then these are this n minus 1 can be taken as a one part. So therefore, because of that reason, you can get this n minus 1 times d into this side. So then at that moment, this positive becomes, that value becomes negative here when it comes to the left side. So the value of a, the term a we are able to write as Tn minus n minus 1 times d equals to a. So the 13th one, Tn equals to a plus n minus 1 times d. How can we write the term d as a subject here? D. The term e can be written as the subject of this formula. How can we do it? We can write Tn, plus a. This plus a becomes minus a. You need to keep aside the term that you need to write as the subject, which means this part should be kept in this side. The other terms are taken to the other side. Okay, so Tn minus a equals n minus 1 times d. So d can be taken, can be written as the subject. Here multiplication. Previously you learned that when it is found multiplication, the formula can be the both sides can be divided. The both sides can be divided in this way. Both sides can be. I will write this again. Tn minus a equals to n minus 1 times d. So this side is divided by n minus 1. This side as well divided by n minus 1. So n minus 1 can be cancelled out. D equals to Tn minus a Tn minus a over n minus 1 equals to d. This is the way of writing. This is the way of getting the term d as the subject of this formula. 14th question. 14th question. Tn equals to a plus a. Tn equals to a plus n minus 1 times d. We have to write the term n as the subject of this formula. How do we write the term n as the subject of this formula? Yes, how do we write the term n as the subject of this formula? The term n can be kept aside. The term n can be kept aside, which means then these two terms should not be taken into this side. But it's taken the term a to this side. So Tn minus a equals to n minus 1 times d. N minus 1 times d. Here it can be seen multiplication. It's having multiplication here. You need to write the term n as the subject. Then how can you do it? How can you do it? Here multiplication. Therefore, you can divide the both sides by d. So d and d can be cancelled out. N minus 1 equals to Tn minus a over d. N minus 1 Tn minus a over d equals to n minus 1. What is the term that we have to write as the subject? N. We have to write the term n as the subject. So Tn minus a over d. Tn minus a over d equals to n minus 1. A over D equals to n minus 1. So how can we write the term n as the subject? You know, Tn minus A over D, this minus 1 becomes plus 1 when it comes to the other side. So that should be written separately, right? So it's unable to write it, with the numerator of this fraction. So Tn minus A over D plus 1 equals to. This is a way of writing the term n as the subject of this formula. Okay, the way of writing it. So we could do the 15th question as well. 15th question as well. How to do this type of one? How can you do this type of one? Um, you know, V equals to 1/3 A squared H. How can you write the term H as the subject? How can you write the term H as the subject? Just how can you do it? How can you write the term A as the subject of this formula? H as the subject of this formula. Here multiplication, here multiplication. Bear in mind it. So then here you just get into your mind this type of one, please. So before doing this one, this type of one, if y equals to if y equals to you know you wait if this type of one, this is half x, this is 5. Then when it comes to this type of equation, here multiplication, what we are doing is we remove the term 2. 2 needs to be removed. How can we do it? Both sides can be multiplied by 2 here first. Here 2. So this side is multiplied by 2. This side as well multiplied by 2. Now, this 2 and this 2 can be cancelled out. So, 1 into x is x equals 1 is x. So, x equals to 10, or 10 equals to x. So, it is having, here 2 in the denominator. In terms of removing the value which is found in the denominator, what we are doing is we multiply, and here it was 2, then both sides were multiplied by 2. So likewise, here also, what we are doing here, in this question, of the previous question, here, we how to write the term H as the subject, we could multiply both sides by 3. This side by 3, this side also multiply it by 3. Here you could see 3. That's the reason of multiplying both sides by 3. Okay, so this 3 and this 3 can be cancelled out. So 3 into E is 3b. 3b equals 1 into a square h. 1 into a square h into 1. So a square h. Now, writing the term h as the subject is very easy. How can you write the term h as the subject? Here, multiplication. Therefore, both sides you could divide by h square. H square. This side as well. H square. So h square and a square can be cancelled out. So h equals to 3b over a square. Okay. Let's do another one, this type of one, same type of one. 16 times 16th one. So x equals to 1/5 a squared y. Let's write the term y as the subject. How can you write this as a subject? The term y as a subject. How do you do that? You know, you can multiply both sides by here 5, both sides by 5. Here also by 5. The reason of doing it is, here 5, here 5. So here 5. In terms of removing 5, we multiply using 5. So this 5 and this 5 can be cancelled out. So 5 into x is 5x equals to a squared h. So both sides can be divided by a squared. This side as well. Now, a squared and a squared can be cancelled out. A squared equals, so h equals to 5x over a squared. Okay, this is a way of writing the term h as the subject of this, right? Y, here, y, yeah. Mistakenly, I have written that here, H. This is not H. Then I could write here H. Okay, no worries. And here H. Here H. Here H. Here also H. Okay? Here H. Here also H. Okay? H. H. So you written the term H as the subject of this formula. Okay? So what we have to do, we need to remove this digit first. Let's do the 17th question. This type of one. V equals 3/4. Not 3/4. 4/3. 5 x squared y. 5x squared y. You know that this is 5, right? 5. So how to write the term x squared y? The term y as the subject. How do you do it? How do you do this? Using the previously gained knowledge, you can write the term y as the subject. How can you write it? Here y, here 3. So therefore, we how to remove the term? 3 here. 3 can be removed. 3 can be removed. V equals to 3 into 4/3 5 x squared y. Now this side also multiplied by 3 here. So this 3 and this 3 can be cancelled out. 3 into v is 3v. 3v equals to 4 5 x squared y. Now here you could see 4 as well. So how can you divide this? How can you write this? So here our aim is writing the term y as the subject. You need to divide both sides by 4 5x squared. This side also 4 5x squared. The reason here multiplication. Therefore we could divide. So this 4 and 4, 5 and 5, x squared can be removed. So y is can be simplified. 3b over 4 5x squared equals to 5. This is a way of getting the term y, writing the term y as subject of a formula like this. Okay. Yes. Okay. 18th one. how can you write how can you write if x square equals to y x, how can you write x as the subject of the formula? X square equals y. X square equals y. X square equals y. X square equals y. How can you write the term x as the subject? Yes, x as the subject. How can you write it? X as the subject. Yes, think of it. X can be written as the subject. This means you think of this one. If x square equals to 16, how can you get the value of x here? Yes, the value of x can be taken, that getting the square root of 16. If x square equals 16, then x equals to square root of 16. Square root of 16, that whole, right? Anyway, I wanted to teach you that, here if x square equals to a certain given value, then you need to get the square root of that value. You need to get the square root of that value. So when it comes to this one, if p square equals to 5, then p equals to square root of 5. If it is, that if x square equals to y, so x equals to, x can be written as the subject, getting the square root of y. So x equals to square root of y. This R should be known to be written the given terms as the subject in these questions. So, then x square equals to y, x square equals to y, x square equals to y. So, how can you write the term x as the subject? Yes, x as the subject. X equals to square root of y. So 19th one, p square equals to c. P can be written as the subject of this formula. So p equals to square root of c. Okay, square root of c. This type of one, 20th one. If x square minus 1 equals to y, how can you write the term x as the subject? X squared minus 1 equals to y. So, the term x can be written as the subject of this formula. First of all, you need to write the term x, x squared should be written in a one place. In this way, that x squared equals to y minus 1 becomes plus 1. Minus 1 becomes plus 1. Now what we have to do to be written the term x as the subject, x equals to square root of y plus 1. You have to get the square root of these two terms. Okay, so x equals to square root of y plus 1. Square root of y plus 1. We could do the 21st question here. X squared minus y squared equals to c. How do we write the term x as the subject? Yes, how do we write the term x as the subject? X squared equals to c minus y squared becomes plus y squared. So x equals to, again you need to get the square root of x square root of c plus y squared. This is the answer. Okay, so how do you do this type of one? 22nd one. V squared equals to u squared plus 2fs. We how to write the term v as the subject? How do you write the term v as the subject? Just here v squared. So this can be written you know that here v equals to square root of this whole expression. V equals to u square plus 2fs. So we written the term v as the subject of this formula. V equals to u square plus 2fs. In the way of writing this, I have one as a subject of this formula. So we are able to write the term u also the subject of this formula, of the same formula. How do we do that? 23rd one. Yes, 23rd one. V square equals to u square plus 2fs. 2fs. Let's write the term u as the subject. Yes, how do we do it? How do you do that? U square, u should be written as subject. U square equals to, v square, this whole segment is brought to the other side. This plus becomes minus 2fs. It's able to take this whole segment to the other side. The reason here positive, and also here between 2 and f multiplication. Here also f and x multiplication can be found. That's the reason this whole segment is considered as a one part. Therefore, this whole segment is brought to the other side. So u square equals to v square minus 2fs. And u can be written as subject square root of v square minus 2fs. This is the way of writing the term u as the subject of this formula. Square root of v square minus 2fs. Okay, we could do the 24th question as well. T equals to 2, wait, no, this is not the question that we are going to do. You think of this one. When it comes to previous questions, that if x square equals to y, then we wrote the term y x as the subject. X can be written as the subject. X equals to square root of y. X equals to square root of y. Likewise, we are able to write the term. You think that you have been given this one? If you forget the previous one, if x equals to root y, you need to write the term y as the subject. You forget this part, right? If x equals root y, you need to write the term y as the subject. How do you write the term y as the subject? Yes, here. Now, this is the given formula. X equals root y. You need to write the term y as the subject. Here you could see clearly this is root y. This is root y. How do you write the term y as the subject here? What you have to do, you need to square both sides. Actually, the answer is this one. So you need to square both sides. X squared and root y squared. When you get the square of root y squared, the answer is y. So y equals to x squared. I will explain this to you more. The reason of becoming this one. You think of when you get the square of root 5 squared. This means root 5 square means root 5 into root 5. This means root 5 into root 5. So 5 into 5 is 25. So root 25, you know that 5. Root 25 is 5. So when you get the square value of a root value, which means here root 5 square equals 5. You think of this one, counterpoint again. Root 7 square. Root 7 square means, that root 7 into root 7. Root 7 square means root 7 into root 7. This means, 7 into 7 is 49. 7 into 7 is 49. 7 into 7 is 49. So, roots 49 is 7. Which means, therefore, root 7 square equals to 7. So likewise, you think of this one, root 11 square. So what should be the value of root 11 square? Without considering the root value, you are able to get the value of root square at once that 11. This is the answer. Likewise. So then root 13 square. What is root 13 square? Root 13 square is 13. So you need to remove the square root square value. I mean this one, then root a square. Root a square means same. Right? Then this type of one, root x plus y whole square. So what should be the answer? The answer is x plus y. X plus y. You think of this one, root. You think of this one, root x over y whole square. Root x over y whole square. So what should be the answer? You need to remove square value. So which means the answer is x over y. You think of this one, x square minus y square over t root. When you get the square of this whole part, then what should be the value? The value should be, you need to remove the square value, x square minus y square over t. This is the answer. Bear in mind this segment properly, then you are able to do the questions. You are able to write the questions. Easily, right? You are able to write the terms that are given as subjects easily. Okay. The other part. How can you do the other part? This type of part. This one. If x square plus y square equals to root x square plus y square, root x square plus y square equals to root x square plus y square equals to c. Make the term x as the subject. Make the term x as the subject. How could you write the term x as the subject? Yes, how could you write the term x as the subject? To be written the term x as the subject, here what you have to do, you need to get the square value first. It's unable to write the term x as the subject at once. What you have to do here, you need to get the square value here. X square plus y square, get the square value. The square value of the left side and the right side as well. So after that, when you get the square value of this part, you know that it removes the square root value in x square plus y square. Previously I told you that. So we are able to get eventually that x square plus y square equals to c square. X square plus y square equals to c square. So x square plus y square equals to c square. X square plus y square equals to c square. So we need to write the term x as the subject, right? So x square equals to c square minus y square. Now you know the way of writing the term x as the subject. So x equals to square root of c square minus y square. This is the way of writing the term x as the subject. Okay. So the next question is t equals to 25 root L over G. Root L over G. You have to write the term L as the subject. How can you write the term L as the subject? Yes. How do you write the term L as the subject? The term L can be written as the subject of this formula. To be written the term L as the subject of this formula, first thing is, you need to remove the square root value. When you see the question in this way, you are unable to remove the square root value at once. That cannot be done at once. I mean, you cannot remove the square root value at once. Then how can you do this? Here multiplication. First, you need to divide both sides by 2, 5. The reason I will explain you the reason. Here multiplication, both sides are divided by 2, 5. So 2, 5 and 2, 5 can be removed. So t over 2, 5 equals to root L over g. You need to get you need to write this root L over g that equals to t over 2, 5. The reason of writing, root L over g in this sense, so that we can get the square value of root L over g. You divided both sides by 2, 5. Okay, now we are able to write the term L as the subject of this formula. So how do we do this? T over 2, 5 equals to root L over g. We have to get the square of both sides. 2 T over 2, 5 whole square, and this side as well, root L over g square. Previously, yes, I have been teaching you the reasons of getting these square values of a given square root. Then, when we get the square of a given square root, it's able to remove this square value. This can be written as t squared over 2, 5 whole square. 2, 5 whole square means, 2, 5 into 2, 5. So, this means 2 into 2 is 4. 5 into 5 is 5 square. So here t square over 4, 5 square equals to root L over g means, then when you square this one, root L over g whole square means L over g. Okay. Then t square over 4, 5 square equals to L over g. T square over 4, 5 square equals to L over g. T square over 4, 5 square equals to L over g. We have to write the term L as the subject. Okay? How can you write this? T square over 4, 5 square equals L over g. T square over 4, 5 square equals to L over g. Let's write the term L as the subject. How can we write the term L as the subject? Both sides can be divided, multiplied by, g here. This side by g, this side by g. So gt square means gt square over 4, 5 square equals to g and g can be cancelled out. So equals to F. This is a way of writing the term L as the subject of this formula. Okay? How can you do this type of one? X equals to t root x, sorry, not x, root s. Let's write the term s. Here is some. Here is s. I'll write here y. Let's write the term y as the subject of this formula. Think of this one. How can you write the term y as the subject of this formula? Yes. How do you write this? The term y as the subject of this formula. Yes. Think of this. How can you do this? You can write then easily. You are unable to get the square root of y. When it comes to a square root, then you need to get the square of the given term. Then that cannot be done at once. Then when it's having the term t as well here, right? So t also can be seen here. You cannot get the square root. You are able to get the square of both sides right now. Then when you get, then this is converted into a binomial expression, right? I mean, previously you learned, but then t square plus 2t root y and y. So this cannot be done. So this can be done. Then when you simplify in this way, then it's unable to write the term y as the subject of this form. And how do you do this? You need to get this plus y into this side. Then this becomes plus t. Plus t becomes minus t equals to root y. So plus t becomes minus t. Now how can I do this? How can I write the term y as the subject? The term y can be written as the subject. Now you could get the square of both sides. X minus t equals to of this side as well. It's taken the square value. So x minus t whole square equals to, when you square of this root y, it's equals to y. So y equals to x minus t whole square. Or x minus t whole square equals to y. So we could do one more question. Capital A equals to 5 capital R squared minus simple R squared. We could write the term simple R as the subject of this formula. Simple R as the subject of this formula. How do you write the term simple R as the subject of this formula? Here multiplication. If it's having multiplication, what you are doing is you need to divide. And how to divide the both sides by 5. Then here A equals to 5 into capital R square minus simple R square. So both sides are divided by 5 first. Then 5 and 5 can be removed. So A over 5 equals to capital R square minus simple R square. Now how can I do this? Yes, how can you simplify this? You have to write this term simple R as the subject. A over 5 equals to capital R square minus simple R square. A over 5 equals to capital R square minus simple R square. You have to write the term R as the subject. R as the subject. How do you write the term R as the subject? Here you could see minus R square. So what you have to do right now, that minus R square should be brought to the other side. Then it's able to write the term R as the subject easily. So minus R square becomes plus R square. And here capital R square. So plus A over 5 becomes the whole segment converts into minus A over 5 when it comes to the right side, to this side. Now R square equals to, R square equals to capital R square minus A over 5. Now we are able to write the term R as subject. R equals to square root of capital R square minus A over 5. This is the way of writing the term R as the subject of this formula. Okay, so I have been discussing, different types of formulas, right? The ways of writing the formulas. I have been discussing today. So, I will tell them what you have to do right now. You have to do the sums that are met in your textbook. If you have got an issue, what you have to do, you could comment, right? You could send me a message regarding that your issues, right? So then I do believe that I do have understood, you have realized these segments in a proper way, right? I do believe that. So if you have got an issue, you could comment, right? You could subscribe this channel and click the bell icon so that you can get the uploaded videos instantly. You could subscribe this channel and you could ask for your friends as well about our channel. And if you wish to join our online classes, you could get our contact number, and you need to send a WhatsApp message regarding mentioning your class and the school and the grade as well, right? Which means the grade message regarding mentioning your class and the school and the grade as well, right? Which means the grade as well. So, and after that, you will join our online classes. Okay, we will be doing many lessons in the near future. Especially, you will be able to get our, you will be able to join our paper discussions, especially for the year-end test. So get ready for doing those papers as well in the near future. Okay, many thanks.